Hello, everyone. This is Ron from Ron's YouTube channel here. Just thought I'd go live here on a Saturday night and just give you a kind of a channel recap here. I got back from Texas on Thursday. I attended the SpinUp event last week in Austin, Texas, and after the SpinUp event was over Sunday, I moved on to the great city of San Antonio, Texas, which is, I don't know, 100 miles west and south of Austin. And it was a great city. Had a lot of fun there. Did a lot of stuff down in the Riverwalk area. It's all the Alamo, and just good time, good weather, good food. So we got back Thursday. So just trying to get settled in, being away a week, and living on the road. It was a good life living on the road, but now it's back home and trying to get back into routine a little bit here. Got a lot of video and pictures to go through and edit. I actually took more stuff in San Antonio than I did Austin. When we just stayed around a hotel, it wasn't very, picturesque by Highway 35 there. But anyways, I got some good stuff of SpinUp also. I posted I think a couple, at least one video, maybe two videos already. And anyway, so and just kind of some random thoughts thing. When I got home, I got an email from Snaptain. I don't remember the person's name, and this little 660. I think it was a 660. I don't see the markings on here. I doing so much stuff I forget. But anyhow, had an issue with the camera, where the camera you could not turn it on with the the button on the controller, and then people said you had to use the app, and that didn't work either. So they sent me a fix to get the camera working. I didn't get a chance to try it yet, but I will get around to that this week. I will do whatever they said to do and test to see if I can get the camera to record on this. So look for that in the channel sometime this week. I'm dealing with some bad weather. I got some people in the chat here. I got Dan Dipper and Adrian in here. How are you, Ron? I'm doing well tonight, Adrian. You saw the video SpinUp. I hope you liked it. Man, you guys are awesome. Thanks. Keep up the good work. We'll try. We're not that awesome, but anyway. So that's a little Snaptain drone. If you had any interest in the Snaptain drone, and I just saw I had the Parrot Anafi. Oh, got my case is all full of junk. I got the Parrot Anafi case here. I don't need to pull it out. You know what the Anafi looks like. I saw that the Parrot updated the Free Flight 6 app just overnight last night for iOS. So I don't know what that's going to bring to the table, but I'm going to get that update installed and see if that adds anything. David Smith, hello. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's not going to be a regular show tonight. Just kind of me talking here. So I'm gonna get the Parrot update to see if that adds anything to the Anafi. We've been everybody's Steve Miller. Hello, how are you? And JLRC Motor Rotors. Hello, how are you tonight? Mike's in here. Hey, Mike, Birdman 316. How are you tonight? Well, let me move on quickly here. It's been all this talk about the Mavic Mini this week. DJI even put like a little promo for a new product coming out next Wednesday, which would be October 30th. And they're talking about flying it or whatever. They don't show a drone, but everybody thinks that's going to be the Mavic Mini that's been talked about for a long time now. So just to get a perspective, you've seen the pictures of how small it is. This is like the Bugs Mini Pro or something like that. It's going to be as small as this Bugs Mini. They fit in your hand like this, and it even has folding props for this doesn't. So that's going to be incredibly small, especially small for a drone that supposedly is going to fly a couple meters away from you and with full FPV. And there's some rumors say it's only going to have 2.7K and fly for 30 minutes, and other rumors say it's going to have 4K 30. and fly for 18 minutes. So I don't know if you want the better video or the more minutes, but we'll see what we get. So yeah, that's going to be real interesting. Again, the thing me, at first I kind of had no interest because, well, why do I want another drone? It's not as good as some of the other ones I have now. But I mean, if it is this small and folds, and you could kind of just put it in your cargo pockets, that would be something. Of course, it's under the 2.5 grams, so you don't have to register it. I mean, I guess if you're a first time drone user and you've never registered anything, maybe that could be a big deal. But for somebody like me who's has a whole bunch of drones and I've registered a long time ago, you just put the same registration number on all your drones. It's not like you have to pay another $5. But anyway, so. Marcus and I are probably going to do like a live stream on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the time of the thing gets released or whatever. I mean, we'll just watch the website and, see if it actually does go on sale and how much it is. Rumors are it's only going to be $3.99 with the controller. So, that sounds very promising too. Oh, I see. Marcus Crawford's in the house with us tonight. How are you tonight, Marcus? You busy tonight? Hold on, let me see if I can send you a little something here. But anyways, yeah. So if that thing is $3.99, it's gonna send people crazy. And I keep hearing everybody, oh, it's going to sell like hotcakes, and I guess it will. But also, will it sell like hotcakes to the the people that have Mavic 2s and Phantom 4 Pros and whatever. I mean, let's say I have a YouTube channel, they're going to review it. I mean, what good is it going to do people, like that? So, we'll see. I mean, I know it'll sell well initially, but how well will it sell, after that initial period where everybody kind of goes wild over for the price or whatever. And, I'm also thinking that, when that thing gets, like, if it doesn't have 4K, I mean,
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, Siri, go away. If it doesn't have 4K, I mean, the reviewers are going to go, going to just slam. That's all they're going to talk about. Oh, it doesn't have 4K. It doesn't have 4K, even though it'll say it doesn't have 4K. They're going to slam it. So, we'll see. Drone Shots, hello. How are you tonight? Hey, Marcus, I sent you a link. Why don't you jump on here if you're not doing anything? Just check your Facebook Messenger. It should be in there. Yeah. I think we have a guest join us tonight for Random Drone Talk. Marcus.
Mr. Brown, how are you?
Oh, man, there you are. How are you tonight?
Well, not doing too bad. I'm feeling a little better. I've been under the weather, but I took about a 2-hour nap this afternoon, and man, it does wonders.
They do.
Yeah. I just caught your talk. So you're talking about the viability of the Mavic Mini, Ron, and who it's going to appeal to. Am I gathering that correctly?
Yeah, and I brought this old Bugs Mini out to show that this is about the perspective I see. Let me go this way. That I see in the pictures that were leaked this week, and of course the Mavic Mini even folds where this doesn't. But look how small that is in my hand,
right?
Without folding, and I think that's the same type of size we're going to see out of this Mini according to these leaked pictures or whatever. So to me that's the biggest selling point of it. Beyond, not 4K, not 2780, 2.7K, not 18 minutes, not 30 minutes. That size to me is what's going to make this stand out.
Well, as you know, I've made the statement a bunch of times that the goodness of the Spark was its portability. So I agree with you. Hey, the other thing is, Ron, you mentioned to me earlier today about the controller. So I looked at that picture that you talked about.
And let's credit that to Bill Thomas too.
Yep.
Our friend over at the Coast to Coast Drones Network shows.
Hey, there's Bill the drone reviewer too.
Well, he may be on here in a second if he's by his computer.
Send him an invitation. Darn right. I wonder if they got a new controller coming for us. Have you seen the FIMI X8 the controller? It looks very similar.
Oh, well, yeah, I've seen it in your videos, kind of a flat,
Let me
almost a
pull it out.
flat. Yeah, well, like it looks like a game controller from some system.
You know, Ron, this thing right here is a little bit of genius. In fact, this is way better. I like this controller better than the DJI controllers that I have, the smart controllers. Other than the fact that it doesn't give you the information, the LED screen at the top. I like that on DJI. But this thing, so your phone fits in between, and it clamps it tight, so it's really secure. The other advantage to this type of controller is it gives you full access to the screen on your phone. What I find on my DJI controllers is those little arms, they block the part of your controller when you're trying to swipe up or whatever.
Yeah, if you've lost the app, you can almost never get it swiped back up again. But I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. We've been joined by Drone Royalty here tonight.
Drone Royalty.
The drone reviewer all the way from sunny Florida.
That's right, sunny Florida. Well, the weather's starting to turn down here. We're starting to get a little bit of fall. We didn't make it to 90 degrees today. So.
Okay, semi-sunny Florida.
Yes. No, it was, I was listening to part of your conversation, and I think one of the things that I think you were touching on, Ron, about the 4K aspect and how reviewers are just going to go bonkers. It doesn't have 4K. Well, when the Spark came out, it was a lot of the same reaction. There's no 4K on it. Why should I get it? And I'll tell you what, people were pretty doggone impressed with what that little drone could do. Now, for me personally, I thought I had no issues with the video from the Spark, okay, at all. It produced quality video. I liked it. Its stills is where it excelled. And I know our good friend Bill Thomas has taken some excellent stills with the Spark. And it shows that is a very versatile drone, a very, very, very usable drone. And I think, as Marcus and I had talked about this, I think a great market for this. I think you're going to see a lot of first-time drone owners get this. I think it's kind of a perfect drone for them because I think the whole thing, the fly as you are thing, I think it's meant to take it out of the box, charge it up. If you need a firmware update, do a firmware update, but just, get your controller out, get your phone or tablet or whatever you're going to use, and you're up in the air. I mean, I think it's going to be very straightforward, very simple, very easy getting that thing up in the air.
Yeah, I think that you harken back to Spark. I think the Spark was many people's first GPS drone. Like maybe a lot of people had a toy drone of some sort, but that was their first real GPS drone. But I want to catch up on something real fast. Marcus and I talked earlier in the day about poor Marcus with his cold. We didn't talk long. Bill Thomas from our friend from the Coast to Coast Drone show. He posted a link today, maybe in Coast to Coast Drones anyhow, but Bill Thomas posted it, where he was showing somebody zoomed in on the promotional picture that DJI has on the front page of their website with the I'm going to call it the boy or the young person, kind of flying in the air, whatever, and he's holding something in his hand, and it's a controller. Well, they zoomed all in. The controller is not a standard-looking DJI controller. It's a game style controller, maybe a Nintendo Switch controller in his hand. And I related that to Marcus. You two have talked about on your stream the other night about Marcus is reading all the stats off from that Best Buy website, and he discovered, or he saw in there, that they mentioned they could use another app besides the DJI Go app. So maybe piecing two things together, a new controller maybe couldn't handle the Go app, so they created a new app for it. I mean, I'm making all this up. This is all.
Oh yeah.
I got no rumor information outside of just playing amateur detective. But what do you think about a possibility of something like that, Bill?
I think that's very possible because I know when Marcus and I were going through that listing from Best Buy, there were a number of and both of us caught the way the language was in that. I mean, Marcus caught the app, and there was something else that I had caught when we were going through there as well too. That kind of said this is going to be a little different. I mean, it's not going to be the norm as DJI would see it. Now, including a remote at $399 is a great deal. And I'm thinking it's going to be I hesitate to use the word dumbed down a little bit, but I think it is going to be dumbed down from what we've seen before, from what we used to say, like the Spark, and especially the Spark of the Mavic Air, obviously not having the display screen like the Mavic series does in their drones. But yeah, I think we're going to see something that's going to be different. I think it's going to be unique. And I think Marcus really hit a good one when he saw that app and he saw that listing in there. But what was real interesting was after our video aired, it probably wasn't more than 24 hours. That link, you can't use that link anymore. It's a dead link. I mean, Best Buy took it away.
But it could still be seen. It can still be seen on your live stream, though.
Hey, yeah. Ron, throw me the screen for a second.
Okay, and I'm going to interrupt for a second. Did you see John Cupia? He's the one that zoomed in and discovered the Nintendo Switch controller. So I was given. Well, Bill did post it, but let's give John his due or whatever. That he's the one that zoomed in and he discovered it. So okay, I'm going to give Marcus the power here.
I just wanted to show it here for a second.
Hold on. Let's see
what we were talking about.
See if I can do this. I always forget this stuff. Did we do anything? No. Hold on. There we go. Well.
So let me know when you see it.
Yeah. We can see it. I'm going to make it real big. We can't see us. We can only see it. There we go. And you can clearly see that's not a DJI controller.
And like that looks, Marcus, that looks a lot like your FEMI controller.
And that's what that's why I just brought that up. And I'll tell you, I like that because it gives you full access to the screen and it holds your phone very securely as well. So anyway, I just wanted to show that picture we were talking about. I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, Marcus. That's important. Now, somebody did say that maybe that was just a what do you call it, like a stock photo of the DJI, that they didn't film that for the event. But I can't imagine a company as big as DJI, when they're launching a new drone, just uses some kind of stock photo.
I agree, because the people are going to do what John Coopy did and what Bill Thomas would do and zone in on that phone. I mean, and that's how somebody that was very observant, with Skydio 2, when it was flying in the warehouse right before it took off. That's how we found out Skydio 2 was going to have a remote, because somebody zoomed in on that picture and they saw somebody was holding a remote. So it's the same thing here. And I don't think DJI would I think that's done on purpose. I think we're seeing it.
In other words, Bill, there's a little Easter egg in there for us.
Exactly.
And Marcus and I talked about that earlier today. Like that, remember the Easter egg photo we got last summer in, I'm going to say by mid-July, when the Mavic 2 was delayed for 45 days. We had an Easter egg photo of all those devices sitting on that table. And, of course, the Mavic 2 was there, but also the Pocket was there before we even knew what
it was there. Yeah.
RoboMaster was there. All these devices were sitting on that table.
It was a gold mine.
Yeah.
Literally a gold mine.
And everybody was trying to figure out how they thought they were all just parts of the Mavic 2 and not separate products. So, like we said, an Easter egg. But what was I going to segue off of this? I was going to ask a question. Oh, you mentioned the Skydio, and I'm jumping all over the place here tonight, since this is an informal, unplanned, unscripted show. Okay, Skydio 2 coming November, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, if you were a betting man, okay, pick me one of these dates that'll arrive at your front door: November 1st, November 15th, or November 30th. Which is going to be the closest date for that device to arrive at your front door? And I'm asking you as a person who's on the very beginning of the
list.
Right.
Yeah, I say November 15th, and that's going to kind of be ironic because that's one of the 2 weekends we're scheduled to go up to Ohio. I got to clear it with my daughter, but that's one of the 2. It'll come, and I'll be up in Ohio.
Hey, Marcus,
I see November 15th. I really
let's ride by Bill's front door then, and we can pick up the free Skydio off the porch after the UPS man drives away.
Yeah,
but I think it'll be November 15th. And what was real interesting was, and I don't know if I read it on Marcus's group or your group, Ron, or mine on one of the Skydio groups, but somebody had in the comments section is they're a little skittish. They're in the first production batch ordering, and they're kind of skittish because they have ordered from startups before and have not, they've not followed through. But I don't think that's going to be the case here at all with Skydio 2. I think it's a real deal. We're going to see it. Now, one of the things that they did comment on, and it was an interesting comment, and I thought I'd bring this up here, is that did they make enough, in terms of their production capabilities? Now, Marcus and I talked about a little bit about this last Tuesday night on whether or not the Skydio, well, if they have the production capabilities to keep up with demand, and that when they get to that point to do that, obviously we know from seeing, and we've gotten glimpses inside of DJI's factory. I mean, it's a real honest to goodness assembly line getting those drones together. And we've seen glimpses of Skydio where, there's a lot of technicians closely together, bent over tables, putting the Skydio together. So, when they can, and Mark's going to talk about this, about getting, investors, when they see the capabilities of the Skydio 2 and they see that they've sold out the first, the second, the third wave, they're going to jump on board to get a seat at the table to help Skydio out. So I think that's one of the big questions, is what they're saying is what production capacity will be.
Bill, basically what you're saying, Bill, is with Skydio will be the Tesla of drone makers or whatever. They can't get them out fast enough for the customers.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Russ from 51 Drones, that's what he called it, the Tesla of drones. So
hey, real quick, Bill, I want to mention Gorilla Man's in here tonight, and he sarcastically puts in there after Christmas the Skydio will arrive. But I want to shout Gorilla Man out. He received his Mavic 2 Pro today.
Oh, really?
And I know he doesn't want to be on air, but I hope he drops by the chat Monday night in Xeno Nation, Marcus, and at least could tell us a little. He'll probably have it unboxed and maybe a first flight in by Monday night.
I'm counting on it. Gorilla Man, no pressure.
Hey,
no
you don't have to go live, but just hang out in the chat with us and give us some pearls of wisdom on the on what you've learned so far from the much talked about but little seen Xeno Pro.
Yeah, that'll be the key, won't it?
Yeah. I before you guys go on, I let everybody know that the Parrot and Nafi the app got updated overnight last night for iOS at least. I didn't get a chance to install it today, but I will this week. And Snaptane sent me out a fix for the camera on this. I haven't tried it yet, but they sent me an email and stuff to try to get the Snaptane camera working. You realize, Bill, that this Snaptane drone will be bigger than the Mavic Mini.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have absolutely no doubt. I mean, when you saw that one, I don't know if in those new pictures, the guy's literally holding it in the palm of his hand, and it just fits in the palm when it's all folded up in the palm of his hand. I mean, it just barely fits in there. I mean, it's crazy. Well,
yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to point out, and Marcus and I were, when we looked at what the stats that were listed on the Best Buy page that came up, the more I'm hearing from my sources, the more it's accurate what's in there. I think one of the only really truly unknowns right now is whether or not it has like the original OcuSync that was on the Mavic Pro, or if it has enhanced Wi-Fi that's like on the Mavic Air. And I'm really hoping it's going to be OcuSync because that enhanced Wi-Fi on the Mavic Air.
Your theory by him with regard to that camera and battery life.
Yeah. Well, I want to say something real fast. What if it's neither? What if it's like an OcuSync 1.5 or something? It's not as good as 2, but what if they come up with something in between or whatever that works best for a smaller drone, whatever.
I can see that happening. Now, what my source told me, and I shared this with Marcus, was they did have it at 4K. Now, if you looked on the sides of the Mavic Mini, you saw what looked like 2 ports.
Right.
Now, those were put in for cooling and to try to cool it down because the 4K camera just ended up generating so much heat. They dialed it back to 2.7 because it was running too hot, even going through the air with all the air coming in to cool it off. So that's why they ended up going with a 2.7 instead of a 4K.
I want to stop just for a second. We have Chris Hope in the chat tonight. Chris Hope is a fine gentleman and a gentleman, a scholar, an excellent drone flyer that Marcus and I had the honor of meeting at SpinUp. Do you know Chris Hope, Bill?
Yes, Chris is a great guy. I really like Chris.
Guy. Yep. So welcome, Chris. He did a sunrise video this morning. I was able to watch part of it today. So he actually got a little sun. I think. Where is Chris at? Is he in Virginia or North Carolina, Marcus?
He's in Texas, I believe.
Oh yeah. I'm getting him confused. Yeah. Chris is in Texas. I think he's east of Dallas.
Chris is going to have to answer that one. I don't remember.
Anyhow, thanks for joining us. He's part of the Sunday. I'm getting him confused, but he's part of the Sunday crew. But anyhow, Bill.
Hey Ron.
Go ahead, Marcus. I've been talking to you.
Go forward. You need to talk about. I thought you brought up a great point about the battery life and the camera.
Okay, Bill, here's again, this is just all be guess and speculation, no facts, no sources. We keep hearing people say this drone was ready in June and didn't get dropped. And we all thought it was because of the the Chinese tariffs and the spying issues. But what if they, in June they were ready to go, but they could only get it. They could only do just like you explained, the 2.7 because of the heating or whatever. But what if they held back because they've been this whole time the engineers have been trying to get the 4K to work without overheating?
That's an excellent point. I think they really wanted to try to get that 4K to work, but it just wouldn't go. I mean, you only have and I know who would be excellent, who could answer this question without a doubt is Rick Smith. But from an engineering standpoint, they can only put so many ventilation spaces in that size of a drone. I mean, you look at like the original Mavic Air or Mavic Pro and the ventilation on that. Now, a lot of people originally with that, remember the gimbal cover on the original Mavic Pro,
right,
how big that was?
Right.
Now, some people talk about
two pieces.
Yeah. Some people actually talked about with flying on with that.
Yeah.
And then, one of the big things was and people got informed of this right away. If you keep flying with it, it could do damage to the gimbal. It wasn't mandatory. But the big thing was that's where all the ventilation came for the whole drone. If you had that cover on, it would overheat the drone. And so that's why they said you got to take that cover off every time you fly. Otherwise, the drone's going to overheat. And I just don't think there was enough spaces or there was enough ventilation to be able to cool that off. Now, if you look where those ventilation spaces are, they were towards the rear of the Mavic Mini, not towards the front. And my guessing, you're going to need that coming in from the front and going throughout the aircraft to dispel that heat. And I just think,
hey, Bill, any chance that the Mavic Mini will have a fan in it?
That could be possible.
People to have a fan.
I don't know. It could. But see, I think the thing is, and this is one of the things we pointed out, and I've been getting this question has popped up like crazy on the last video. People are asking me, will it work with a smart controller? And I said, no. I said, you got to have OcuSync 2.0 to work with a smart controller. And the only ones are the Mavic 2 series, the Mavic 2 Enterprise, and the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0. Those are the only ones that are going to work with OcuSync 2.0. So.
Hey, I'll have to call, what I think could be a little bull on one of the stories. Like they're saying that because it's 2.7, it'll fly for 30 minutes instead of 18 minutes. Now, I mean, this drone could have something new that no other drone ever had before, but I could take any drone I own, a DJI drone, a Parrot, it doesn't matter. And I take it down from 4K to 2.7, and I don't get any more flight time out of downgrading the video or whatever. Again, if this little Mini, I'm not saying it won't do it, but if it does it, it'll be the first drone I've ever known that gets more flight time because you decrease the quality of the video.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't, I wish I could answer that. And I think we're going to see some kind of new technology with these batteries, because I know I've talked to Rick Smith, in depth about batteries and battery life. And I know my good friend Ken Dono has as well, too. And, from Rick said, you can only get so much out of that area. The way the lithium ion is, you can only get so much, you have the metal plates and you have the chemicals between them that cause the electricity. you can only get so much out of that, he said. And that's the real challenge, is to try to squeeze more out of that space. Well, I think DJI may have come across something here to actually get, realize, this battery is going to be pretty small. I mean, the drone itself is pretty small. And I was looking at like a Mavic 2 battery, and I think the Mavic 2 battery is probably about as 3/4 as big as the drone itself. So, the battery is going to be small, and it's going to be on the inside. And I think that's a real key, because if you remember, a lot of people, when they first got the Spark, they were having, batteries were falling off the Spark in mid-flight because they weren't clicked in all the way. And,
right.
That was understandable. But now there's the battery goes in, you shut the door, and it's in there. It's not going to come out. But I think they've done something with the battery technology. I don't know what, but I think they've probably come through with something, probably a patent to get, some more juice out of this battery.
Hey, the guys, Grill Man in here, and Grill Man's in Canada, so he speaks this better than we do. He says a 250 gram is a magic number for people that live outside the U.S.
Yeah, so one of the things, and I talked to Lauren, was telling me about this. There's two really big things up in Canada that this will bypass. One, you won't have to register the drone, and two, you won't have to get what they call, I believe, an airman certificate. Now, your test in Canada is online. I did talk to a number of people, regarding the test. The test is an online open book test. I mean, it's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. There's a few dicey questions on there, but from what I've heard, it's more of a drone test, because the test the FAA has for us, it's more of a private pilot's exam. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, that's the way it is. I would love to talk to Jason Shoppert sometime and get his thoughts on that, because every private pilot that I've talked to that's a Part 107 pilot said, you just passed a private pilot's exam. Really, that's what it is.
My neighbor is a 737 pilot for Southwest Air, and I was talking to him about that, and he was incredulous. He goes, "What? Why do you need to answer all those questions? That's nuts." He says, "Yeah, drone, really?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what they're saying."
Hey, Bill. Okay, now we'll go back to people in the U.S. because I don't think you speak better for the Canadians than I do. But okay, as a U.S. drone flyer, now assume that you're a first-time drone flyer. You've never owned a drone before, and you buy the Mavic Mini. Now, of course, we know you won't have to register. You won't have to pay your $5. But beyond that, what is the advantage of the under 250 grams? Beyond the two things that's one thing: register and pay $5. What else do I get out of that?
As far as rules and regulations, that's it.
Yeah,
there's really no other advantage. I mean, because as Marcus and I have talked, it's like you still have to follow all the rules, all the regulations. As a regular hobbyist. I mean, you could fly at Part 107, which I don't know why you would want to do that, but you have to follow all the rules that are set up by the FAA. I mean, that's just that's part of the game with that. I mean,
right. The only other benefit would be what we always said about the Spark, but even more so this: it's so small and unoffensive looking that if you got it out in your local park or whatever, nobody's going to bat an eye or call the police or whatever. They'll just think, they got some little kid's toy over there, and isn't that a cute little drone?
Well, one of the things, and that's a good point, Ron. One of the other things that people are talking about, actually, it's twofold. How the propellers are going to be screwed on, and that they're going to kind of be like the Anafi propellers. Mm-hmm. And someone said it's probably going to be a fairly quiet drone. It's not going to be very noisy, because I know one of the things when I've flown the Anafi, when Rick Smith was here and I had a chance to fly his Anafi, I was impressed with how quiet it was. I mean, to me, it seemed, it was different than a DJI drone. It was quieter. And somebody says, I think we're gonna experience that with a Mavic Mini. It's going to be a quieter drone. It's going to be unobtrusive. Like I've told Marcus, I said, I could take it in my work bag with me and go outside at lunchtime, get my phone, pop it in the controller, go up for a spin over one of the lakes right by where I work.
Right.
I have the controller right here. For the Mavic Mini.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it's similar, and these are removable gimbals on this thing too.
Wow. Yeah. I want to acknowledge we got our RD drone reviews in here. That's Ryan, and this week Ryan sent a nice care package of drones to Marcus. Go over to the Idaho Quadcopter channel and watch Marcus's unboxing. So I want to shout out to one of the real good guys on the in the drone community. That's Ryan over at RD Drone Reviews.
Oh,
I'm going to throw it out there, Ron.
What a care package.
Mark's going to be flying FPV before we know it here, Bill.
Tomorrow, look for the video coming up on this guy.
Let's see Marcus with some FPVs on. There you go.
Marcus, can you use the DJI goggles with that?
Yeah, if I had some.
You should buy, you should buy that DJI FPV kit and mount it on that Bug 6 there. I would also, we got Organized Confusion here. He's a great guy. He's in a lot of our stuff here. Thanks for joining us tonight, Organized Confusion. I saw Dave G, that's Perth West OZRC, was in here a little bit earlier. I saw my friend Birdman 316 in here earlier. So Better with the Drones in here. He's in Chicago. He's loving the Spark now. He said the Mavic Mini is going to dominate the first time vacation flyers. That's a good point, Bill.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's going to be, I wouldn't hesitate. Like, well, we're planning. We've already planned our trip. We just don't know which weekend we're going in November up to Ohio. But I already told Valerie. I said Mavic 2 is coming with me because I want to record places where I lived up there, just some scenery up there. So we'll have a day or so to drive around town, and I'm gonna love to. I'm itching to do that.
The Mavic Mini's not going.
Mavic Mini will not be going. Well, you never know. I might get that at work. Put that in my bag as well too.
It could be in time, Bill. I mean, there's no reason to think. Remember how quickly we got the Mavic 2? I mean, if you order it on the 30th, you'll have it within a week, I'll bet.
Oh yeah, it should definitely be there.
Oh, I'm going to put Bill on the spot again, Marcus. Okay, he had to predict the Skydio. He said the 15th. Okay, when you order your Mavic Mini on the 30th.
Okay,
a week, 10 days. How long before it's? Okay, let me give you 3 choices again: 5 days, 7 days, or 10 days before it's at your doorstep.
I'll say 5.
Oh, I like that
because and the reason I said that, and I talked about this with Marcus. DJI learned its lesson, and I think I shared this with you too, Ron. DJI learned its lesson when the original Mavic Pro came out, October 2016, and that the supply was nowhere near the demand, and people that had purchased it in October weren't getting them until end of December, January, and people were just so upset. Well, what DJI did was they added distribution centers on the East Coast. They added one down in Georgia. There's one in Chicago now. So it they can hit 3/4 of the country from these 3 distribution centers, because it only used to be out in California, Cupertino, California, I believe it's how it's pronounced. But now they have them across the country.
Cupertino.
There you go.
Another little company operates out of that town also. Small company.
Oh, them. Okay. I think I heard of them before.
An hour or two, Bill.
I think I heard of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll see, because it's amazing. I think when I ordered some accessories for my Osmo Action, I got them in like 4 days. It was crazy fast from. Yeah, and it comes the address has Atlanta or Georgia in it. I think it's a suburb of Atlanta.
When you helped me with the Mavic 2 Pro purchase with the smart controller, I ordered it on, I don't know, like Saturday, Sunday, and it was here by the middle of the week. I know it was here by like Wednesday or something.
Oh yeah, it was fast, and we had ordered it when we were right at the in Brooklyn, and I didn't order it till we got back to our hotel room, but I got it. I ordered it on the 23rd, and it showed up on my doorstep on the 30th. That was exactly 7 days.
But you had to go searching around for it.
Not a bit. I was so impressed.
your video. Remember, you could, it was there and it wasn't there, and you went over to the next one.
Oh yeah, we did the Twilight Zone unboxing. That was all Valerie's idea. That was we had a blast with that. We had an absolute blast with that. So much fun. I mean, it was, because everybody does, the same thing for an unboxing video, and I just wanted to, just kind of cut the mold and make it a little different and have some fun. And I did a little voiceover for Rod Serling with the Twilight Zone. I mean, we had a blast with that. Total blast.
Yeah, you're right. You got to do something different than unboxing. I don't know if it was the Mavic 2, but I remember Casey Neistat did one where he just, opened the box up, opened the drone box up, dumped everything on the table and said, "That's the unboxing. Let's go fly."
Well,
I like Ryan Singleton does it.
I've seen him too. Well, and I think one of the things, and I chatted with Ron a little bit the other day, as far as, when as us as drone reviewers versus say, Casey gets one, Justine gets one, some of the other ones get one, Dustin gets one, and they're out there and they get the reviews out there. But I think a lot of people that follow us, a lot of our subscribers, they look to see what our thoughts are about it. What we think of it, because, it helps when you purchase it, when you're spending your money to get it versus, Casey's getting it, Justine's getting it, Dustin, others, they get theirs without any, there's no cost involved to them. And, and of course, what they're going to say about it. Well, with us, we can be very honest, very upfront. And you know what? And I tell you what, that's one of the things I love about Ken Dono, okay? Ken will shoot you straight, okay? He will not pull any punches. He does, it doesn't matter, if he says something bad about this company or that company or whatever or something. I mean, he'll shoot you straight. He'll tell it like it is. And I think we do the same too. If there's something we don't like, we're going to say it. If there's something we find that we don't like, we'll mention it. And I think that's what, and I think a lot of our subscribers and viewers look for stuff like that. I mean, yeah, they'll probably watch Casey's video or Justine, or, maybe if Rick Smith got one, and I'll definitely watch Rick's for sure.
Right. To your point, Bill, all the big reviewers, I like them. I enjoy watching their videos, but my problem is, not that they're not honest or whatever, but, like, we'll pick any of them. Justine, I mean, she'll get the Mavic Mini, and she'll do a good job with it, whatever, make an entertaining video. But she won't go back every time it gets a firmware update that changes something. She won't make another video, whatever. So, if you decide, it's 3 or 4 months from now, if you decide you want to get the Mavic Mini, and you watch Justine's review or whatever, the Mavic Mini could have added so many new features and corrected so many problems, but you won't know it because she's never going to do another video on it again, probably, or whatever. So that's the only point. And a lot of, people are getting into it. They don't realize that a smart, I'll call these smart drones that take firmware updates, a few months out, they're not the same drone that shipped on launch date.
Yeah, that's and I'm real thankful with Marcus with the Xeno, because he goes out there when there's a firmware update, and I think he did one for the FEMI.
FEMI gets more than the Xeno does.
It has.
I gotta say this, after watching Marcus's thing, I was impressed with how FEMI does their firmware updates. I really like that versus the Xeno. I think that's a key. That's a huge bonus for me. I mean, what I'm hoping for is that Hubson cleans up that whole firmware update process, because that's
Xeno 2 is going to have the app update.
That's what they're bragging about, Bill.
Oh, I hope so, because I'll tell you what, I watched John's video, Koopy's video on it, and I think it's fantastic. But it's a real pain in the butt to do a firmware update on the Xeno. I mean, but conversely, with the FEMI X8, it was fairly straightforward. It was not difficult at all. And Marcus makes it look easy when he does it. I mean, and that's something I think that appeals to a lot of hobbyists. Okay, that makes a big difference.
course, a lot of hobbyists like to save money, and you can get a Xeno $150 cheaper than you can a X8. So a lot of people would rather keep that $150 in their pocket and
That's
throw it
true.
around with their laptop. I mean, again, it's all how much you're willing to spend to get all these features.
That's very, very true.
And look, the Xeno's in the house. Is that Kelly Shores' Xeno?
That's the Kelly Shores Xeno.
Ah, that's the Kelly Shores Xeno.
You got Kelly to sign it.
So we should have, and we didn't. I don't know. We should have done that, Ron. but I have to tell you, on my way back home from Austin, this got me searched at the airport.
Uh-oh.
It was in my bag, and they said, "Hey, is that a CPAP machine?" I said, "No, it's a drone," and they were fine with it. They put it back through, and they said, "Cool."
You searched the Mavic 2?
They didn't actually. It was this.
2 can make it through TSA, but a Xeno can't.
That's exactly right.
Well, that's funny because every time I've flown with a drone, is what I do is I take the batteries out and I put them in the lipo bags, and I'll put it in the little bin container that goes through screening. But I've left my drone in my bag. They don't say a word. I mean, I've had no problems with that, none at all.
The reason I held this up is because you guys were talking about updates, and so Ron and I are going to give this thing away. But before we do that, it's been flown before. I opened it up, and you can tell it's been unpackaged before. But I'm going to update all the firmware in it, so it'll have the latest firmware. Take it for a test flight, make sure that it operates as it should, and then some lucky Xeno Nation person is gonna end up with this drone.
Bill,
Wow.
are you a subscriber to Xeno Nation?
I'm a subscriber to Xeno Nation.
You could be the winner.
Well, did you see? I came up with this idea. I don't know if you saw at the beginning of our show where I had breaking news with that picture of you and Marcus shaking hands. I talked about the president and co-president of Xeno Nation have gotten together and have decided they're going to share the presidency of Xeno Nation, be one nation under Xeno.
That's a pretty good stuff. Did you see
stuff? And the reason that I wasn't there was not because we're going up to not only because we're going up to Ohio, but for line of succession purposes.
Did you see Ken Dono's SpinUp video?
Yes,
we're in it. He's calling us. He's calling us the president of Xeno Nation, and you spoke about Ken before. It's a shame you weren't there, Bill. Like Friday night, when we were at Sam's Boat, Kelly took us to this great restaurant, seafood, and he had a band for us, and we were sitting out in the open air. It was a beautiful night, and we're one of the later ones there, so we're sitting at table 3 or whatever. But Kelly even came over and smoothed our wives for a few minutes. But when Ken Dono got there late, but he came over. He could have sat with anybody. He came down, sat with Marcus and I, and just talked with us, for a long time or whatever. It was just a great experience,
guys. I can't say enough, and you guys got a chance to rub shoulders with him. I've been with him a number of times. He's one of my favorite people. I absolutely love being around him, hanging with him. Not only his knowledge and stuff and everything. He says it like it is, and you know what? I think that really appeals to me. I really like that. I really like him for doing that. He's got a great thing going with his business. Doing not only the aerial photography for real estate, but inside. And I look some of his latest pictures. He hits a home run all the time with this now. I mean, he's really doing a great job. And like I said, I can't say enough nice things about him. We're going to get together over the holidays and go out to dinner. He's a blast to be around. He's just so much fun. Well, was it? Oh, when he got back from SpinUp, I don't know if you guys saw that. He said the wife wasn't real happy. There were a lot of Amazon packages in my room.
Well, I'll tell you, anybody that hasn't been to SpinUp, you owe it to yourself to do it, because it is so much fun to commiserate with people that have the same passion that you do for flying drones. And not only that, but to see the different aspects of it too. Ed Ricker, watching that guy fly FPV, I was just like, wow, you're just blown away. And to see the talent that was in that room was amazing. People that you didn't even know, and you would see I saw their summary videos, and you go, wow, these are people that really have some videography talent, some editing talent, and some flying talent. It was really cool.
Hey, Bill, want to hear this? How Ed Ricker's just a regular guy too. I'm out just walking down this park or whatever Friday afternoon, just take a little stroll, and I look. Somebody kind of yells over to me, right? And I look around. I see somebody that had FPV goggles on. They're flying a little drone, and I'm looking. I was like, "You guys here for SpinUp or whatever?" But they called me over. It was Ed Ricker and Doc. What was Doc Murdoch? Was that his name?
Yeah.
And but Ed, I don't know Ed from anything. He calls me over, so you want to watch me, fly this little. He had like a little Cine Whoop, a 4K whoop or whatever. And I have. Did you see my video? Like I have everything where he's telling me all about it and whatever. We had this big discussion out of no place. I didn't even know who he was at first until I was talking to him for a while before I took the goggles off. I knew who he was.
Ed, I have to say this, guys. I met him at the Mavic 2 launch event. I'll tell you what, I spent about 20 minutes talking to him, just solid. He is you're right. He is so down to earth. He is friendly. And I told him, I said, the videos that I watched the most to cut my teeth when I got my original Mavic Pro were his Mavic Pro videos, because he went from soup to nuts, from A to Z, on everything you need to do. I mean, it was like IMU calibration, gimbal calibration, calibrating your compass for the first time, everything you need to do to get your Mavic Pro set up and running. He walked through his video. And I told him that. I said, Ed, you know what? I got to thank you for that video. And he says, well, and he says, he told me how it started. He said a friend asked him to do the video because a friend had bought a Mavic Pro and he wanted to learn how to do all these things. So he put the video together. I think last I looked, it had like 1.5 million views.
Okay. Well, when he introduced himself to me, I said, yeah, I know who you are, Ed. I watched all your Mavic videos.
Yeah. And he has his own FPV channel now, too. It's a separate channel from his other one.
Right. It's only FPV. I got a quick ball score update. I always update scores during these shows now. The Astros are leading the Nationals 8-1 in the 7th inning.
Ooh.
Are you a baseball fan, Bill?
Yes. Well, Garrett Cole used to be a Pirate. He pitches for the Astros now. So I follow all, and the Nationals have some ex-Pirates on them too. So that's my only claim to fame right now, because it may be my great-grandchildren before they see the Pirates get to the World Series again.
No more Willie Stargels
and Roberto. God, it's just like I got to see them play. I got to see Roberto play, and that was a treat. Well, I was at the game. I was at the game where he got his 3,000th hit. And listen to this. I had the ticket stub. It was a general admission ticket stub for $1.50. I sat out in center field. I sat behind. I was literally at the wall. It was a book rule double where it hit the turf, hit the wall. It was right in front of us. And you know how much I sold that ticket stub on eBay for $1,500.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, I had an autographed baseball. My dad was a Shriner, and they would have a father and sons game. All right, and we went to an event. They would have an all-day event. They would take the sons, get them dinner over there, take them, have a rock band play a concert, and then we'd go over to the ball game. Well, before we go to the ball game, they gave away autographed baseballs. Now, they were genuinely autographed in ink by the players. And I had an autographed baseball from the 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates signed in ink by all the players. And that happened to be the year that they won the World Series that year. Well, what my dad did was get some clear nail polish. He covered the entire baseball until the day I sold that. I sold it for $1,000. Till the day that I sold that, you could legibly see, especially the best autograph on there was Roberto Clemente's. It was very legible. It was clear.
Wow. And I believe I of course remember the 71 Pirates that won in the World Series. They beat I grew up in a town not that far from Baltimore, so we were shocked in my hometown that the Orioles lost that year because they had like a better record. They had the 420.
They had 420 game winners that year. I mean, they were crazy. I mean, it was just like everybody expected them to walk all over the Pirates, and it didn't happen.
And I believe that was Bill Mazeroski's last year. He was kind of reserve at that point, but
yeah, he was the reserve. Dave Cash came in to play second, but I remember all these guys' names.
He got traded to the Phillies a couple of years after that, so I remember.
Yep, he did. And Al Oliver played first base. Willie Stargell was in left. Vic Davalillo was in center. Roberto was in right. Jose Pagan played third base. Jackie Hernandez. Well, Gene Alley had retired, and then Jackie Hernandez came in at short, and then Dave Cash at second, and then Manny Sanguian, the happy Panamanian, behind the plate. And I've seen Manny. I went down, we don't live too far from Bradenton, and that's where the Pirates do their spring training, and went down there. He's at every spring training game.
Oh, wow.
He's absolutely blessed. Well, you know who's a big, who Doc Emmerich is? He does the hockey announcing on NBC. Well, he's a huge Pirates fan, and I saw him at one of the Pirates spring training games as well too. You see all the old timers are down there. It's really kind of nostalgic to go to one of those games. Well, poor Valerie, I took her down to one game. It ended up being a day where the high was 35 down here. Okay.
Oh
yeah, that was it. She said never again for a day like that.
Well, they are great memories, but we better get away from this week in baseball. Or we're going to form stiff here, Bill. Girl and Man had to bow out. Thanks for joining us, Girl and Man. And if you're still listening, join us on Muddy Nights in the chat. Chris Hope had to go too. He's got to get up early tomorrow for sunrise in Texas. And Steve Miller says he's a big Pirate fan. He can go Bucks.
All right, Steve.
So, anyways, Marcus, do you have anything you want to say while we bored everybody to death with this week in baseball?
Well, all I'm saying is we are in exciting times right now. I just can't wait until Wednesday. And I think that whatever DJI brings us, we're going to have some surprises because you always get some goods. And there's going to be things about that drone that you don't even know you need right now till you see it. And you'll go, wow, I really need that. And 3, no question, I'm going to be hitting the buy button. And then the Skydio coming shortly thereafter. But we live in exciting times.
Let me ask Bill a quick question.
Yes.
When that thing launches Wednesday and the specs pop up, do you expect like any surprises? Will be a surprise spec that hasn't been talked about at all?
Yeah, I think we'll probably see some surprises there as far as the specs are concerned. I mean, maybe in terms of software features. I mean, the Best Buy site talked about Rocket, Droney, Helix, all those kind of things. I think those are to be expected. The obstacle avoidance hasn't really been talked about a lot. It does say it does have obstacle avoidance. My guess is from looking at the design, where it looks like I call the eyes, I think those are probably going to be, I think it's going to have forward facing obstacle avoidance, which I think is great on this. I don't think we'll see anything like the hand gestures on the Spark, which were awful. I mean, that was just an awful thing. It worked 50% of the time, even when you did it right. I think we'll see some surprises. I really do.
That's where I was leading you, Bill, that, when the Spark showed up, it had stuff that no other DJI drone had before it. And it took, it took a couple months for some of that stuff to filter into the rest of the line. Do you think the Mini will come with a feature that it has alone? No, the DJI drone has whatever this.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see some things. I think one of the things that I think we'll hear about is the battery technology. I think we're going to see something different with that. I think it's going to be unique, and I think it's going to be groundbreaking. I think because to get again that physical size, to get that out of that 30 minutes out of a battery that small. They've done something different, and I'm really itching to find out. I'm really also anxious too because Lauren, when I talk to him, really thinks it's going to be the original OcuSync that was on like the Mavic Pro because it lists the same transmission frequency as the original Mavic Pro does. Now, I mean, transmission frequency doesn't tell you whether it's OcuSync or Wi-Fi or what. And I know on the Best Buy site it said it was Wi-Fi, but again, that's an unknown. He doesn't even know that for sure at this point. He said if he were to guess, he would guess OcuSync. So that's one of the big things that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, because if you are going to fly like in parks and whatever in congested Wi-Fi areas, that will be probably a bigger deal than the 4K or the 30 minutes, anything like that. If you could take that out and you could fly again in an infested Wi-Fi area, and not have the FPV dropouts that we're used to seeing with Wi-Fi drones.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head there with that.
Hey, Ron, I just thought of one more little small piece of breaking news for you.
Mm-hmm.
So GoPro announced their $100 trade-in policy tonight on the Hero 8.
Oh, nice.
I pulled the trigger.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, I had an old Garmin camera that was never really worked that great to begin with. So I traded that in, got $100 off. So
You're keeping
$200 for the Hero 8.
So you're keeping the 7 and the 8.
I will, yeah, of course.
Go head on testing. Nice.
Yeah. Well, if you've seen the tests of the 8, I did not know how far they advanced the stability on that thing. It is actually quite a bit smoother than the 7. And of course, I'm just looking at other people's videos and tests. But the fact that they were offering that, that Garmin camera was something I probably would have thrown out anyway,
right?
Because I just wasn't using it. So hey, it's $100 off. Why not?
Hey, Marcus, Bill has the Osmo Action 2 there.
There we go. Look at this. I got it all hooked up with the I got the sound adapter on here.
That looks great, Bill. That's awesome.
On here. It's this stick is just absolutely fantastic, because what I do is this falls out at the bottom. So like when I go to set up when I'm flying, I just set this up and it's ready to go. I mean, it's
with a setup like that, you'll be bigger than I just seen.
Hey, I got it all happen. Oh, what's nice is when I'm doing this is perfect for like doing unboxing videos and the like, because I don't have to worry about running a mic, using my lapel mic or anything. I do it on here. It picks it up absolutely perfectly. No questions asked. And what I was real impressed with this week, one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, using the Note 10 Plus. When I used it on the Mavic 2, it fits in the controller. You have to use it without the case. I mean, I have a small case on my Note 10. You have to use it without the case. Put it in there, fits perfectly. The app works like a champ. And then now I was sharing with Marcus, one of the things that Samsung did this year was, instead of having to go out and buy or get a screen recorder app, it's built in. It's part of the software. It's baked in there, and it's seamless. And the audio on there is just like crystal clear. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. I was just really impressed with it. And there was no lag, because one of the things I've seen with my iPad Mini when I would be using it, either with the Phantom 4 or the Mavic 2, there was always a lag with the audio.
Apple guys, we're used to that built-in screen recorder, and it is real nice. Bill,
you've got a point. That is, there is just a little bit of lag on the audio with the iPhone. It's just a little bit out of sync.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's where I would have to spend time, when I'm editing this. Well, the other thing is with a smart controller, doing the screen recording with that, there's no lag whatsoever. It's just absolutely perfect. Well, Rick Smith did a video, and I think you guys, Ron, you may want to watch it, on how he does audio with the smart controller. And you just need to buy one cable and then a lav mic, for like $19, and you're good to go. I mean, it's because, if you're holding a smart controller, when you're holding it in and out, that microphone's going away from you. So that's why it sounds different. He said, but if you use a lapel mic, he said it's perfect on there. So, I'll share a couple of thoughts here, because I know we probably want to get going. I agree with you, Ron. I think we'll see some surprises on Wednesday. And I think one of the things that people were asking me about color options, my friend Ian Jones from over in the UK asked me about that. And I've heard that DJI is going to there may be some options as far as like skins or something to get to dress up your Mavic Mini. And I think it'll be less expensive than and I think DJI is probably going to provide them. I think that's one thing I think we'll see, because I think we're just going to get one color scheme with that. And again, that's a way for them to make some money. I think we're going to see some different options. I know we talked about, and you've probably seen that one picture where the Mavic Mini is sitting in what looks like a charging cradle, which is going to be different. And I think that it talked about also something like Marcus and I saw that the other night about something that on the top of it that covers it, maybe like, what holds the propellers in place, but maybe something a little different along those lines. So I think we're going to see some good things as far as that's concerned. I think we're going to see a lot of accessories. I think they're going to have an awful lot of accessories. I think, the value for the dollar for this drone is going to be incredible. That's one of the things that I just wanted to close with. And on the heels, Skydio 2, it's like going to be right after that. I mean, this is going to be, it's Christmas in November.
That is.
Yeah, thanks. But I'll go back to ask you the question. Like, unless you have a YouTube channel and you review drones and you already own a Mavic 2, why would you buy this Mini?
For buy the Spark.
Yeah. Portability. I mean, total portability. I mean, I put it in my work bag.
I thought the Mavic was the foldable legs. I thought that was portable.
I'll tell you, Austin and back.
One.
Toting that Mavic 2 all the way to Austin and back, compared to the Spark, there's no comparison. The Spark would have been way easier for me to take.
True. Oh yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah. Well, a good answer, Bill. Good answer. So I guess we're on a countdown timer now for Wednesday at 9 a.m. Bill.
9 a.m. Yeah. Well, I got that's going to be the good part of my day. At 3:15, I go to the dentist to get a crown put in. So.
Oh, now is it still you still have plans for a noontime recap?
Yes, I would like to have both of you join me. We'll get on for about maybe 20 minutes or so and do a recap of the features and what our surprises and reactions are from it.
And how many we bought.
There you go.
So folks, anyways, listen here. That will be on Bill the Drone Reviewer's channel at around approximately 12 noon on Wednesday, October 30th. That's correct, right, Bill?
That is correct, Ron.
Everybody's welcome. You just bring a sandwich, and a bottle of water, for lunch break.
Or your bottle of Coca-Cola from Mexico.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Or your strawberry Diet Coke.
Or strawberry Diet Coke.
We'll provide the potato chips.
That's right.
So, and Marcus and I are thinking about actually going on air about 5 and 9 and being on air when the website updates. Right, Marcus? Well, Marcus has to be up.
Guys, we are on it and excited about it.
And we'll try to run down the features. Okay, here's another question for Bill. How at approximately 9:00, what will the first review be live on YouTube?
It'll be at 9 o'clock, 00, probably 01 after that. It'll be out there.
First one to throw one up.
Probably Casey.
Okay. Hey, so let me run this by you guys. So we know some people, right? So I am just thinking here, Billy Kyle didn't come to SpinUp. I wonder if it's because he didn't want people to be asking him questions about the new map. I wonder if he's got one.
I can answer that question for you. The reason he didn't go, I talked to Ken.
I know the reasons he gave. I know those already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I have a tweet his given reason, but Marcus is playing detective here.
Yeah.
Well, if I were to guess of any amongst our circle who might have that, I'm saying Rick Smith, because Rick's been putting out videos, but they haven't been drone-related videos.
Right.
And he was not at SpinUp, okay? He did have some other commitments, he said. And, I've reached out to Rick because he's dying to get on the show, but he hasn't responded to emails. And I think usually when that happens, I know he's gone dark for one reason and one reason alone. That's the only, because you know him, it's like you get him on the show, he'll talk about it. I mean, he can't, he's so exuberant. He wants to share everything, but he can't. And that's why I think he's learned one thing. It's best to just not say anything at all and wait till it passes. So yeah, I think Rick has it.
The other possibility is our good friend Kelly Shores.
Yeah, I think Kelly probably has it too. Yeah. I would probably guess. Yeah, because you haven't seen I gotta, you know what? Kelly is doing something fantastic, and it's something I've learned how, I'll segment the live shows, and if we have a good segment on something, I'll end up putting it out there again and getting a good video on it. Well, Kelly's chopped up the day with the speakers on Ready, Set, Drone and put them out as separate videos. Kelly, if you're watching, kudos to you. That is just absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely loving this because we're able to see everything, and you can choose. Oh, and by the way, I want to let you guys know, I got a wonderful email from Barry Markowitz, and he said that they're already taking some action. I believe, that this conference was a good thing for him. And he talked about his wife's going to be starting a Polynesian cooking channel on YouTube because of everything she's seen with all the drone stuff. She's encouraged to do that, to share some recipes for some Polynesian dishes. So, he's very upbeat. Guys, I can't, I've talked, I've emailed him and been in touch with him. He's just a fantastic guy. I can't help say enough nice things about Barry.
Marcus, I didn't know Barry at all. He came up and approached us again at Sam's Boat on Friday night, introduced himself, told us all about these little lights, they're all terms to the famous little light company and whatever. But he came up, introduced, couldn't have been nicer and whatever. But on Sunday, last time I saw him though, he did say to tell Bill he wants to see those DJI T-shirts in the background that he sent you. So,
well, those are only Valerie can wear those shirts. He said they were medium shirts. There's no way medium shirt is fitting on this double XL.
He said he wanted to see him on set. So.
Well, Valerie, they are nice. Barry picked them up in Hong Kong and mailed them to us, and they are absolutely fantastic. Valerie loves them. They have some wonderful. They're like Chinese designs and stuff. They have DJI's logo on it, but just some wonderful designs both on the front and the back. They're absolutely perfect. They're medium, so they're geared for Valerie. And he got us a real nice DJI cloth bag for that, and I was profusely thanked him for that. He's just a great guy. I can't, and his love and his passion for the Samoans and American Samoa over there in Polynesia and everything, it's off the roof. It's off the charts. He has a real passion and a love for everyone in that area, and kudos to him. He does fantastic work, guys.
Samoa. He wants to all come out and visit American Samoa.
Hey, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm absolutely all for that. I mean, he said we have standing invitations to get out there and see him, and I would absolutely love that. I think that would be fantastic.
What was I gonna? Speaking of SpinUp, tune in Monday night on Zeno Nation. We're gonna do like a little SpinUp recap, and we're gonna have the third amigo to the Zeno Nation group there, DeMarco Moore. That's what
DeMarco. All right.
What's his channel name? FSU grad.
03.
Join the panel we're gonna recap SpinUp top to bottom. DeMarco came in about the same time you did on Friday, right? You guys were checking in about the same time?
Same time. And Bill, you know how you told me one time when you first met Ron, you said, hey, Ron is the real deal.
Uh-huh.
That is DeMarco.
DeMarco,
he is just the real deal, man. What you see is what you get.
Oh, I wanted to share an update about Josh from Parks and Tech. One of my good friends, Don Carsons, he's from Pittsburgh, and he knows Ken Donna real well. He's starting a business over in the Pittsburgh area, a drone business. And I'm getting him in touch with Josh, so Josh can maybe help him out a little bit, because I'm pretty sure Josh is part 107. And Don has got kudos to Don. He was in town for his regular job. He visited us. He took Valerie and I to dinner a couple of Monday nights ago, and he was asking me a lot of social media questions, with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and how to help promote his business. But he has laid incredible groundwork. And I told him, I said, the drone business up in Pittsburgh, it's the field is wide to harvest up there. And down here in Tampa, it's so cutthroat for like a real estate job. And I think Ken could probably share this with you. People will, you'll get 100 bids for something and they'll undercut it. And, on a job you should make $150 on, you may get $25. And, it's so cutthroat down here. But up there, it's just like wide open. And I told Don's already had several contacts. He's got business plans laid out. He's got business phone number, business cards, incorporators and LLC. He's got it planned up. But I told Josh about him and I told Don about Josh. So I think they're going to get together. And I told him, I said, you can't go wrong with Josh. I said, he would be a great asset and a big help to you.
Thank you.
So, there's another guy that's kind of like Ron and DeMarco. Okay. Soul of the earth kind of people.
Great information. And again, that'll be, Josh is a great guy. I want to comment on Steve B in the chat here. He's been talking to Mark. Apparently, he's lived near Idaho. Now lives in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I used to live near Cherry Hill, New Jersey before we sold the house there and lived in Surf full time. But Steve B, just contact me offline, and we'll get together and fly sometime. I still get up to that area, now and then. So we'll make a plan out of it. So, gentlemen, I guess we'll wrap things up for the night. Marcus needs to get his sleep to get over his cold, and Bill's probably got a big day planned tomorrow in semi-sunny Florida. You're gonna
big day of cleaning and folding laundry tomorrow.
Okay, with maybe a little drone flying between.
A little drone flying let's see. And that's the thing. What happens down here? It's just like. We had that drop while you guys were down at SpinUp. You should have seen that Saturday here. Barry was not kidding. We had those cyclone winds. They were like 35, 45 miles an hour. We were getting white caps on the lake behind us. I mean, it was not. And then Sunday, it was 5 mile winds were 5 mile an hour at the most. It was just
that party. It was a bad day to fly.
It was not a good day to fly. It was a good day to fly indoors.
Bill, did you watch our live recap? Well, it wasn't live, but live recap show last Sunday. If you still hung around at the very end, we paid you a homage at the end where we said it's a great day to fly. Did you watch it all the way?
Yes, I like that. I like that.
At the end there, you couldn't be there with us this year, but we still wanted to recognize you.
Well, I gotta say this. Okay, I've already started a savings fund for SpinUp 2020. So okay there's going to be money in there. It's not going to be touched. Okay. I mean, it's like under penalty of death, that money's not going to be touched. It's all geared for spin. Well, I've got two funds. I got a SpinUp fund and I got a fund to go see our granddaughter again in 2020. So, but yeah, we've already got plans together for, we got to talk to, on the agenda for tomorrow, the big item of the day is to call my daughter and son-in-law and find out what weekend's going to be good. And then we're going to head up and spend a few days up in Columbus. And I'm really looking forward to that. That granddaughter is just getting bigger and looking cuter and smiling. And, it's just like, I forget about the world when I see pictures of her. Okay.
I bet. Any prediction on the Steelers game tomorrow?
Ooh. Well, they're playing the Dolphins. So
it's a slam dunk win.
Yeah. I'll say even with, I think their backup quarterback will be in, or they're, Roethlisberger's out for the season. Yeah, so Rudolph, I think he'll be in. I think they'll do fine. I don't think there'll be any problems for them tomorrow. They could go in with their third string, that Devlin Hodges, and then probably win too.
Right? The week before, he got to win, right?
Yeah, he got to win the week before. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even your favorite coach won't be able to mess this one up, huh?
Yeah, Tomlin.
We'll not go there.
Coach, obviously.
Mike, if you're listening, don't leave any bad comments in the chat here. Mike watches the show all the time.
Oh yeah, Marcus, I hope you get better, my friend. You know what? If I could, I would make some of my world famous University of Nebraska chicken soup and send it to you. Okay.
I'll tell you what, whatever I got, you don't want it. We sat, Sarah and I, on our way from Austin to Seattle, sat next to a guy that just had a terrible cold. He was coughing.
Oh, no.
He was doing everything he could, to keep it to himself. He wasn't just coughing all over everybody, but still, that you're going to get it, because those viruses are so virulent that,
especially in an airplane, because the way that air recirculates in a plane is just, one of the things that I've learned flying a lot is I will buy 2 of the biggest bottles of water, whenever we're at the airport before we get on. And both my wife and I drink those, because it's a 2-hour flight up to Columbus. And we feel so much better after having that, because the air is so dry inside there. I mean, it's like I've spilled water on my pants leg on flying, and within 10 minutes it was bone dry, because that air is just in the viruses in there. If somebody sneezes or has a cold or something, it's just like all over the place.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we got to wish Marcus again. Well, he's not the only one. A couple people reported coming home to SpinUp with a cold, so he's not the only one. But we hope he's better. We're going to need him Monday night. We're going to need his voice in good shape Monday night. We got a big show planned. SpinUp recap, Mavic Mini updates, and what's our third topic? Skydio updates, or
oh yeah, and of course I'm hoping that we hear.
Mavic, not Scotty, no update. Xeno Pro updates.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we hear from some people like Josh, for instance, that has the Xeno Pro.
I'm anxious to hear about the Xeno 2, guys.
Brian Singleton Xeno Pro will be arriving Monday also. I don't know what time, but he's expecting it Monday by the tracking number. And the Xeno 2, we don't have any tracking numbers for yet, but
so we're on that subject. I know we're getting ready to sign off, Ron, but I guess I want to let everybody know that I had an order out there for the Xeno Pro, but I canceled it because for a couple of reasons. They it's that same old song and dance that they take your money right off the bat, and then they keep putting off the ship date. Although, had I kept it in, I'm sure I would have that drone in my hand probably now. But the other thing is the Xeno Pro is just an incremental change from the Xeno. And the Xeno 2 is probably really the one that you want. The other factor, and Ron and I talked about this, Bill, I didn't talk to you, is that we both feel like that when the Mavic Mini comes out, that price for that Xeno Pro is going to drop like a rock. I mean, it'll have to, or they won't sell any.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? If it gets down to $250, hey, I'll hit that buy button on that.
Oh yeah,
right. But I mean, if the Mavic Mini comes up at $399 with the control, with any of the specs we talked about, who would buy the Xeno Pro at the same price over the Mavic Mini or whatever? So like Mark, if we are going to get it, we'll just wait until and these Chinese companies move slow, whatever. It may take them 2 weeks to drop the price or whatever, but eventually they will realize that they're not going to say prices the Mavic Mini, and we'll get a bargain on it.
Well, yeah, and you'll see something too. Talking about the Xeno 2, especially if DJI comes out with a Mavic 3, like what I'm hearing that they're going to do at the end of January. I'll tell you what, that Xeno 2 price, you'll see that thing go down. It'll hit rock bottom too, and you'll probably be able to pick one up dirt cheap. Now, I'm also hearing, just as a tidbit, we're going to talk about, believe it or not, we're going to talk about the Mavic 3 on Tuesday night. But one of the things that I've heard is the price is going to be about $1,100, which is really that's very eye-opening. And I am pleasantly surprised to hear that. I mean, that's what we're hearing. And with a camera with capabilities like a Phantom 4 Pro. I mean, wow.
Bill, you didn't talk about starting up a fund for the Mavic 3.
Oh, well, guess what happens if the Mavic 3 comes out?
The
Mavic 2, the Mavic 2 goes on eBay.
Well, now I've heard again these are all just rumors, but my source who says that the Mavic 3, it won't, it won't be a 1-inch sensor drone, and it won't be, it won't have the camera quality of the Mavic 2 Pro, whatever. It'll actually be a downgrade as a camera drone.
See, I'm hearing, what I'm going to hear, what I heard is after the Mavic Mini comes out, that they're going to be able to give us some more information on the Mavic 3, like, closer to release date, and some tentative specs on it. So that's going to be interesting. So stay tuned. As soon as the Mavic Mini gets released, we're going to get some details on the Mavic 3, which, and from everything that I'm hearing, it's going to knock the socks off of everybody. I mean, it's going to have things on there that are just going to, your jaw's going to drop.
Will it outmaneuver my Skydio around trees?
I don't know about that, but I think it's supposed to have Active Track 3.0 on it, which is going to be pretty incredible. I mean, it's not going to do the Skydio kind of stuff, but I'll tell you what, it's gonna really be impressive for Active Track for a DJI drone. It's really going to do a great job.
Hey, Bill, did you see our friend Marcus Crawford's video with the Mavic 2 where he put the Active Track through the paces?
Yes, I did. I love that.
And that's just what I was just going to say. Both of you guys have that Mavic 2 Pro. I challenge the two of you to test out that 360 obstacle avoidance and that A-Pass. I'm telling you, it works.
I did. You got to take a look. I tested the A-Pass and obstacle avoidance with the Mavic Air. Okay. And what I did was I set up our garbage can and our recycle can out on the street, and it was heading towards the garbage can, and it did one of these.
We're not talking about the Mavic Air. Don't change.
Oh, I know.
Don't change.
I'm just saying, I will, you know what? I will challenge, accept, Ron. I've accepted this challenge. You're a witness. Okay. I've accepted the challenge.
Maybe I'll fly under the Margate fishing pier at the beach.
There you go.
Hey, I have to tell you, I had so much fun making that video. It was really fun trying that thing out. And I suspect you guys haven't for the same reason I did. I gotta be honest with you, I was kind of scared of it, right? That's an expensive piece you got up there. But I thought, you know what? They put this tech in here. What's the point of having it if you don't use it? So that's where that came from. And
I did a video where I had both the Spark and the Mavic Pro up, and I active tracked the Mavic Pro from the Spark. Okay. Now I got about 100 yards, I would say, and it was going really good. And I decided to slightly turn the Mavic Pro. The Mavic Air lost the connection. And it took me 3 batteries each before I finally got, because you had to get it the right height, because if you were too high, it wouldn't get it. If you were too low, it wouldn't get it. It had to be like about maybe 25 feet in difference from each other. But once you got that and found that sweet spot and it locked on there, it followed it. And I was like screaming happy on the video, and Valerie was recording it, and it worked like about 100 yards. And then I started to make a turn with the Mavic Pro because the fence was coming up, and lo and behold, the Spark it stopped because it lost the track of it. But it works. Okay. Doing one drone to the other drone, that works. It's just you had to get the right height to be able to do that.
Hey, Bill, we were just talking about Metro drones in the chat. He's another great guy that we met at SpinUp. His name's Bill, correct?
Yes.
Bill Brooks at Metro Drones. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been commenting and been in some chats on Tuesday night. Yeah. He's a great guy. I like him a lot.
At the event, and Bill was the first person I saw at SpinUp. When I went to lunch on Friday, we were sneaking over the In-N-Out Burger. Bill was flying his Mavic in front of the Frickin' Center. Am I saying it right?
The Frickin' Center.
It sounds like I'm saying a bad word, but he's like the first guy, the first person I met at SpinUp or whatever night. Then I came back, from lunch, and I went over and I met up with Art and Rodney Bell. They were flying behind it at the lake, so I got to meet Art in person and the great Rodney Bell from the Saturday Sunrise crew.
You guys, I am so happy you guys had a great experience there. And, you know, it really just from everything I've seen from everybody's videos, I watched Ken's video, I watched your guys' videos. It's just a great group of people. And I like what Marcus said, and it's really kind of hit home. It's like everybody checked their egos at the door. It was, you know, it was going in, you were learning, but most of all, it's like, and I told this to Marcus before he went, and I said, you know, I said, the best thing about it is the other people. Okay. The speakers are great, granted, and Kelly had a good lineup of people. I mean, a great lineup of people. But you know what? That's not the real reason you guys go. The real reason you go is to talk to people and to share with them and just to enjoy the camaraderie and fellowship. I mean, that's what this is. That's what makes this fun. And when you get people talking to you and tapping you on the shoulder and saying, you know, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, that kind of stuff. That's what makes that all worthwhile, because you have a bond and a connection there. That, you know, we have this connection, this wonderful means of capability of doing this online like we're doing right now, but being in person and being able to rub shoulders with them and talk to them and everything, that's priceless.
So
that really is.
Well said. Hey, Marcus, Above and Beyond Drones, was he at SpinUp? Hey, above and Beyond Drones, were you at SpinUp with us?
Jim lives over, I believe, over on the Space Coast of Florida. On the East Coast, I don't think he was.
Jim, I don't think Jim was there that I saw. If you were Jim, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, I think we met a couple Jims, but you know, I was just wondering. You know, I don't want to like forget anybody or whatever. You know, because we got people overload at some point. I mean, the early people, you know, like I remembered all their names and channels, but the more people you meet, the harder it was to connect everybody.
Well, Ron, this may surprise you, but I made a spreadsheet so I can remember, and I'll send you a copy.
Okay, thank you. That's what this old guy needs. But yeah, you're right. But it's Jim from
Melbourne,
Melbourne, Florida.
Yeah.
How's the weather over there, Jim? Melbourne.
Marcus, I think, Marcus, you must be related to my wife, because she does an Excel spreadsheet for everything.
You know what? It came from my career. I mean, that's how I kept track of, you know, I'm a logistics guy, so that's how I kept track of everything.
You know what? I call she is the pivot table queen. I call her that. She makes Microsoft Excel sing. I mean, it's just what she does with it. And I told her, I said, you should teach classes. She is that good. I mean, she just, you know, from day one after we got married, it's just like funny. She says, you know what, you should track your budget on Excel. And I'm like, oh, okay. So ever since we got married, you know, when I pay my bills and everything like I did today, it's all on Excel. I have 9 years worth of bills paid on Excel. I have the whole thing tracked there. It's just, she showed me what she did and I copied it, and it's like flawless.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an easy way to organize things. It's, you know, and
okay.
you know, talking about pivot tables, I know we're getting off on a not drone subject, but
Pivot Table Nation.
Well, it's a great way to sort and sift through data. You can look at it 100 different ways with a pivot table.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that.
Anyways, Jim said rain all night and morning too, whatever. So
we had rain a large part of the day today as well too, Jim, over here near Tampa. So yeah, it was just weather-wise was not a great. Not this evening wasn't too bad. The rain had stopped, but during the day, most of the day, it's just like next thing you know, boom, comes a thunderstorm, and it's just.
Hey, Bill, can I share a secret with you? Don't tell anybody. The weather in Texas was like as warm as Florida and less humid.
Really?
Don't tell anybody.
I won't.
I mean, it was 90 the day of SpinUp, wasn't it, Marcus?
Holy cow, it was hot. You wanted to be in the shade that day, that's for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard Austin is a great place, and I've heard, you know, Ron, I had a question that I have to ask you, okay? I need to know this, okay? Were you able to get to China Grove?
You mean from the Doobie Brothers song?
Yes, sleepy little town down around San Antone. Okay.
Oh no, I didn't see it on the map or anything.
Well, it's like every time we drive down, we go down to southern Florida on I-75. We pass a number of retirement places, and we've gone down through Naples, and then there's a place. It's called Alligator, or it's called Gator Parkway or Gator Turnpike, and it cuts through the Everglades to go over to Eastern Florida. Well, I always told Valerie, I said, you know what? I want to find Del Boca Vista. Do you guys remember what Del Boca Vista was?
I don't.
Seinfeld. That's where his parents retired to. Okay.
Yeah,
it's just a fictional town in Florida. Okay. And I told her, I said, we ought to just get this sign up and put it on one of these exit. Welcome to Del Boca Vista or something like that. It would be, I want to get a t-shirt that says welcome to Del Boca Vista.
That
Alligator Alley. Yeah. Jim's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Alligator Alley.
Alligator Alley, Marcus, that they don't give that name for nothing. I've stopped along that Alligator Alley before. If you stop on the side of the road, like don't get out of your car, you can see alligators as far as I could see at the right time of day or whatever.
Oh yeah, they have their rest areas there. Okay, there are these elevated platforms over there on Alligator Alley where you can walk up there, and I mean, to your heart's content, you'll see. If you've never seen a gator out in the wild before, you will see them there. And pretty much between, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, like between Naples and between the time you get to like near Sunrise, Florida, which is near Fort Lauderdale, there's no rest stops. There's no, except for these viewing stations, there's nothing. So it's like saying, if you need gas, like when you're in Naples, there's a sign that says you better get gas now, because otherwise, you got 50 miles. I mean, and it's water. I mean, you're really, you're right at the tip of the Everglades. I mean, it's all water, and it's like you can see them as far as the eye can see over down there.
Yeah, I got a story for you. One time we stayed we went to Marco Island, Florida for like a week vacation. And one day we drove out to the Everglades and got on one, what do you call it, boats with the fans on the back of them?
Pontoon boat.
Yeah, and we drove out there and searched.
But yeah, swamp boat.
We went down all these canals and, all the folds and everything. And we probably saw one or two alligators the whole time, right? So we were disappointed. And the boat captain said, some days they're just not out. You don't see them. Well, we get in the car to drive home on Alligator Alley. And my story, we pull over. I see hundreds of alligators. So what did we spend the $50 to ride the boat for? We could just park by the road.
Alligator Alley and see them there. Well, my manager at work, he's a Boy Scout leader. And he said they went camping and including canoeing. And there's a couple of things you got to watch out for. Not only watch out for alligators, but snakes in the water. Okay, because snakes go through the water like nobody's business. Well, they were camping and they set up the camp for the night. And he said at night you can hear it was during mating season, and you could hear the males alligators. And he said he estimated probably no more than 1.5 miles to 2 miles away. You could hear them at night. And it was just, he said it was unsettling was the words that he used for it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, okay. We just went into a little bit of what National Geographic here, but anyhow, everybody stopped in to visit with us tonight. Thanks for showing up. This is unannounced. I just plan on getting here and talking for 5 or 10 minutes, and we turned this into a full-fledged show. So I hope any people got something out of this, got some good information. We kind of updated us on all our little rumors and stuff like that we've been talking about all week. I think we're all feeling better about this release on Wednesday at this point. Would you guys agree, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
10-4.
And
talk for yes.
And do you expect good things? Do you expect good unboxing and reviews of the Xeno Pro, which are going to happen like crazy this week? Because I think Americans and Canadians who order them are going to get them this week.
So let me throw this at you, Ron. Who is going to do the first range test of that new Xeno?
Well, if Marcus Crawford had it, he would do the first range test. But Gorilla Man. Would he be next?
No, he's not a range test guy so much. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. Hey, so Metro Drones is asking about the Mini. So maybe we can recap that real quick, Ron.
I think Bill's the man. Bill, can you
Sure.
recap that?
Sure, Bill. We talked about, a number of things. It's been confirmed it's going to have 2.7K and not 4K, and that was due to an overheating issue that they found with that. 30 minutes of runtime. Not sure on the transmission system whether it's going to be an enhanced Wi-Fi or OcuSync. Heavy leaning has been towards OcuSync from everything that I'm hearing. It will have a 12 megapixel camera. We're thinking as far as it will have a remote with it. And the picture that we saw of the remote looked like a game controller remote exactly like what Marcus is holding up for the Fimi X8 right there, putting your phone between the two, which will be fantastic. The 30 minutes of flight time has been confirmed. It will have obstacle avoidance, probably from the front, is what we're imagining. The props are going to be screws in at the top. They're not going to be like they are on the Mavic 2 series or on any of the other DJI series. They're going to be screwed in, and I think you're going to have a quieter drone. All in all, it's going to be, for the price point, you're going to get some incredible technology for, what's rumored to be $399 USD right now. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I expect them, because I was told by my source, they're going to be in limited quantity during the initial release. So, it's like, if you're interested in it at 9 o'clock Eastern time on Wednesday, I would hit the buy button.
But Bill, I'm not doubting your source at all. So this is nothing against your source. But if this drone was truly ready to go in June or whatever, as many rumors say, why is it in short supply? Why don't they have like 1,000 sitting in the warehouses since it's been? It'll be a new product, but it's not a new product as far as production. I mean, again, this is all according to rumors.
Yeah, well, I think this is done strategically. I think DJI is kind of I think what they're trying to do is build up demand for this. They'll initially do a sellout of it, and you'll see it not available on the website for a while, not available for maybe say a week or so, and then just in time, Black Friday will be coming up, and the holiday season will be coming up, and
will be on the shelf at Best Buy for Christmas.
Yes, you'll see it on the shelf for Best Buy Christmas.
Bill just asked the question. Bill said, "Are they saying Wednesday?" And
yes,
you have it confirmed for Wednesday. Even from DJI, we even have it confirmed.
Oh yeah, Wednesday 9 a.m.
Bill, go to DJI's website. On the splash page, the first thing you see is the promotion for a Bill.
The countdown timer.
Hey, so let me add to what we were just talking about demand. So with the Osmo Mobile 3, I hit that button pretty quick that first day that it was out, and I had it in my hand within, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, something like that, pretty quickly. Our friend Brian Singleton waited a few days before he ordered it. It was still available to order on DJI's website, but he waited it was 3 or 4 weeks to get it. And they even said on their website, they told him that, hey, it's, yeah, you can order it, but it's going to be 3 or 4 weeks out. I can't remember what it was. So that's what I'm saying about the Mini. I think there's so much pent-up demand for a new drone from DJI that there's going to be so many people hitting that button that's what you could face, is if you don't get it immediately, you might be a 3 or 4 week wait before you get it.
Yeah.
Let's see what I have here. The Zhiyun Smooth Q2 gimbal that you could kickstart it sometime in early September, and a lot of Kickstarter people still don't have it yet. But yet, you could just pick it up on Amazon right now, or in China you just pick up in the store. That's kind of not too fair to the Kickstarter people who paid their money early,
way in advance. Yeah,
and they don't have it.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing before we sign off, and this is back to our Skydio drone, Bill.
Okay.
Marcus pointed this out to me, a couple weeks ago when we first talked about it. Somebody. It's not somebody. Skydio themselves. They have this color chart. They have a chart where they compare the camera in the Skydio to four of the leading products, and one of them is the Mavic 2, but I'm not sure if it's the Pro and the Zoom, or just one or the other. But anyhow, this camera chart, this camera testing, the Scudio beat the Mavic 2 in almost everything on this chart.
Yeah, I saw that chart. I was looking at that myself too. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of that because
when I first saw the chart, it didn't mean anything. But then I actually studied it, and I knew what they were talking about. And if that chart's even if it's 80% true or whatever, we're really going to have something here, whatever.
Yeah, I think we are going to have something. It's going to rival the Mavic 2's camera, but I don't think it's going to better the Mavic 2's camera. I think I think people are expecting this, well, and rightly so, as an action drone, because that's what we've known this for. But with them coming out with a controller with it, I think that's going to really change the game. And be able to give us some control of that. I mean, everybody likes the autonomy features, which are nice, and having that, the beacon and being able to, transport that around and have it follow you and everything. I think that's going to be fantastic. But I think it's going to be great. And I mean, if you look at what they have now, I've gone out and looked at some of the videos. And I forget the gentleman's name that did the one with the controller. It was fantastic. He actually commented on one of my Skydio videos. He's a great guy. But what he was saying was, he said, people don't underestimate the camera on this. He said the camera is fantastic, and also using this as a regular drone. Now he uses it, mostly as an action type of drone, like he calls it an action cam drone. But, don't underestimate the camera on it. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to be very impressed with it. And, I think it will rival the Mavic 2. I don't think it'll better the Mavic 2, but I think it'll rival the Mavic 2 in terms of its capabilities. I don't see it rising above the Mavic 2's camera, though.
I mean, specs on a piece of paper are nice, but they don't always mean something better than that. But I do know that this thing has the 7 stops of dynamic range, and remember, whenever you see something on a Mavic Pro, what it could do, that's only if you have it in all the highest settings and you're editing in all the high settings. If you just throw it on auto or whatever, it doesn't meet all the specs that you hear about or whatever. It's only when you max out the settings that you get that high level performance that you hear so much about. Hey, Marcus, you see who's in the chat here? Oh, good, and he's in here.
I see that.
Hello, that's one of our friends we met at SpinUp. We first met him at Sam's Boat.
Yeah, I guess it was at Sam's Boat, wasn't it?
Well, Jim from Above and Beyond Drones said it's the camera. He says it's the zoom. It's using the same Sony 1/2 12 megapixel sensor. So that's the camera it's comparable to.
Hello, Joanne. My sister-in-law even dropped in on the chat tonight.
Oh, wow.
How are you tonight, Joanne? I she always asks me about drones. She's drone curious.
Oh, nice. Right.
So we actually have a female in the chat tonight. Is that a record, Bill?
It could be. Well, it's like okay, and by the way, it was revealed during that video that I was named vice president of Xeno Nation, but I mean that's something that nobody had known up until that point in time until we had that breaking news video. So, but I who gave me the idea for that was my wife. She just said, well, that picture of you, Marcus was giving me some background behind that picture of you, both of you guys. Mm-hmm. And it looked like I told Marcus, I said, it looked like Reagan and Gorbachev when they were first meeting with détente and shaking hands and everything, like two diplomats getting together kind of a thing. And I said, you know what? I think I have an idea. And she says, and then she started going, and I said, okay, I'm just going to do this. And I quickly put it together. I put a little mini script up, and I had that copyright news kind of music, da, 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 or whatever kind of stuff. And I thought that was pretty good.
It was, huh?
It was.
Yeah, Mark. We'll have to make T-shirts out of that, Marcus.
That could be. Yeah, detente.
Who gets to be Reagan, Bill?
What's that?
Who gets to be Reagan? You said Reagan and Gorbachev.
Well, you could be Reagan, and Marcus could be Gorbachev. There you go.
That guy, I'd be more like Khrushchev, probably.
Khrushchev.
Hey, can I be JFK then if he's Khrushchev?
I wouldn't want to be JFK. I'm sorry. No, just not.
Why wouldn't you want to be JFK? He was anyway.
Oh, I know. No. I'm saying I just no, not.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying.
Right. Okay, I guess we finally have to bring this over a long stream to an end here. We could go on longer, but I want to thank I'd already started this once, but at least old Goat got to drop in on us. We're going to have him on the show sometime. So old Goat's a great guy in the great state of North Carolina. So he's going to be on the Zeno Nation, sooner than later. And it's great to see you here tonight. And above and beyond drones, women and drones. Yeah, that's a good hashtag. So. Good night, everybody. We'll reconvene here in a couple days here. If we have any breaking news, we could pop up again or whatever. Marcus is going to get that throat, and that cold taken care of, and he's going to be ready to go Monday night, and we're going to have a great show. So thanks for joining us tonight, Bill. Great having you here with us. Thanks for all your great information, and Marcus, as usual, thanks for having you in here. This isn't even really a Zeno Nation. This is our
nation.
It's our new Drone Nation, whatever. We're eventually gonna push Zeno Nation over that we're gonna eventually like slide that Zeno Nation name out and get Drone Nation in there.
There you go.
Kind of cover more topics or whatever. But again, good night, and we'll see you in the next one, as they always say. And Bill, what kind of day do you think it's going to be tomorrow?
It'll be a great day to fly.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night.